Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 7 for emergency management. Just before we get started, this week is relatively a shortened week with your workload, simply because there's preparation for your critical assignment that's due next week. So, that being said, your weekly agenda is going to consist of your discussion board and your journal exercise. Your module objectives for this week are to explain how the past has impacted emergency management as it exists today. So, what scars have we acquired from past events that are helping us um, move forward? And then discuss the possibilities the future holds for emergency management and how the profession may improve in the near future based off of those scars that we've acquired from the past. So you have the this week's reading is going to be chapter 10, The Future of Emergency Management. You have your PowerPoint slides, and then you have your discussion board. And what role will being academically prepared, biblically rooted, globally minded, and equipped to serve play in the future of emergency management? And so I just want to kind of expand on that a little bit. You do have a post of a minimum of 300 words, but regardless of if you're in a position right now of emergency management, or if you're just in a position of management, or if you're looking to acquire something, maybe that's not emergency management, but what is it that being academically, biblically, globally, and equipped, what is it that you've learned this session thus far based off of your readings and everything from the class? I want you to incorporate some examples of how it's going to prepare you as an individual to be that ex manager, or to control something that is going to be in the future for you as far as a manager. What is it that you take away? And then also, two, just remember that you have to respond to two other students as well. Your next assignment is going to be your journal for week 7, and the textbook authors envision two possible scenarios for future of emergency management. And you have the first one is basically the nation continues to stumble from one disaster to the next, during which time climate change, budget woes, and increasing populations further diminish the existing management capacity. And then the scenario 2, which is more appealing, the nation's emergency management system is revitalized and all key stakeholders are appropriately and effectively integrated. What is your opinion and why? And that is, once again, a 300 word minimum. And you do need to have for a point total of 25 points, but make sure that you do your proper grammar checks and spelling and edit checks and all that good stuff. Next, you have your critical assignment preparation. Uh, this week, I want you to just really kind of get into this, whether you've started and you need to kind of get going on it, or if you're kind of at the middle or at the back end of it and you're just going to polish it up. But this week is just to make sure that you adhere to the APA guidelines and formatting requirements, including a title page. Make sure that you have your abstract, and make sure you look at the framework for that and the rules that go with the abstract, your reference section, and then make sure that you print out a copy. And that's what I suggest, is you print out a copy of the rubric, looking at the grading dimensions that are there on the left and everything that's available to you, and run your paper against and ask yourself if you've actually answered all of those questions that are within the actual grading dimensions of that rubric. And then lastly here, as far as just something to kind of motivate you, is just how gratitude can change your life. So I just want you to watch this short video here and just think about things, and how blessed we are with all that we have around us, and with our family and our friends and our health, and all that good stuff. And just take a look at those that that may not have everything that you have, or maybe just kind of need something. So what is it that you can do to kind of maybe help them out? And then for week 7, I always look at week 7 as that week for perseverance. And then this from James, must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So this is the week that actually brings everything together that you've worked on for this session. I know that you have many other classes going on as well, but particularly for this session, is you're going to bring everything that you've learned thus far, and you can answer it through your journal exercises, your DBs, and then also to your critical assignment. So let's move into the actual PowerPoint side of it. Going to go to chapter 10, Future of Emergency Management. Basically looking at introductions, constant change that we've had in EM since 2000, post the 9/11, Katrina, Sandy, and Andrew. And then emergency management, guilty of repeating history. And you've read all the incidents and all the hazards and all the nastiness that's gone on in the past based off of these incidents and others that are out there. But why is it that it seems that we keep repeating the backside? Well, from start to finish, actually, went the preparation all the way to the recovery side of it. Why does it seem to the broken wheel just maintains to be broken? You're going to have your where's EM now, the rising costs of major disasters, all these specialty teams that are out there. You have the collapse, the apartment collapse, condo collapse in Florida, at which time, there's a specialty team that's going to go out there and they're basically trained to remove concrete debris. They have dogs. They have a lot of resources available to them, but those teams are a major cost. And when they're out there for 30 days, 45 days at a time, there can be it's an extreme cost to the federal government to have those teams out there. Next, moving on, you have where is it now? It's continued. Basically, it's a struggle to emergency supplemental funding. You have the development and adoption of the National Disaster Recovery Framework, Mitigation and Prevention Framework. And then something that, once again, I'll just stress is that the community-based assessment and planning tools developed by climate change adaptation specialists. Once this just came out today, the report that the UN has stated that based off all their research and everything that our years that we are here continually get hotter. That's due to the melting of the glaciers and all that goes into the environment as far as what is that we're doing here. And they're just basically sounding alarm saying that we need to kind of change our processes. And then we're going to get into the leadership side. The chief executive sets the organization's priorities. And this is what it is. It's basically the leadership of that community or that county or that state. Those are the people that, all the preparation, and they can sound the alarms for, everything that they've done. But it's when it does go down, are we prepared? Are we ready to move forward on it? And that's when their leadership really comes to fruition and see if everything that they've done is prepared us for it. Once again, climate change. But I actually want to get to the partnerships and the cultural outreach. This is where I feel that, in all my experiences and all my years of, being in public safety and emergency management, that this works, the EM works best rather, when the partnership between all relevant stakeholders are on the same page. When you have your community-based organizations and neighborhood groups, they are all integrated and they're all part of the preparation all the way through to the recovery side, because no one agency, no one city, no one department can actually handle the entire emergency or the entire incident by themselves. They have to have support from other people, other groups. And so to me, partnerships and the cultural outreach and bringing those people in and understanding what it is that Church X has to offer, as far as maybe sheltering people versus business Y might be able to, give out, 1,000 toothbrushes and, and 15 cases of toothpaste, to their local community. I mean, just simple things like that we take for granted, but those are the things that really we have to look at the micro level when should something happen. And then you have your technology, social media, predictive behavior. What is it that people do when things happen? Funding. We all know that the funding issues are always going to plague any, I guess, progress that we look to, to move towards when it comes to the recovery side of things, the preparation side of things, or even the mitigation side of things. It's just the funding has to be there, and it has to be a priority. Moving forward, once again, your two scenarios for the future: the nation stumbles along, or the system's revitalized. And then how do we get there? How we get there is through the mayor and the county. Basically all those government agencies at the executive level will lead the effort, and then priorities have to be reordered with the whole community input. And that's just like I said, the previous slides was just making sure that everyone understands what the different groups within your community have to offer and how they're willing to help. And then ultimately change how climate change is incorporated. And that's at the micro level. It's like if you live in, say, Southern California, where I live, and we can have summertime is very hot, very warm, but if you're always preparing for the event to happen in the summertime, when it does get cold here, are we prepared? Do we have places that can supply heating, that can provide shelter from rain? Those are the microclimates that you really have to look at within your community to make sure that you're prepared. So you might have trailer A at your local fire station that has all the supplies for should something happen during the heat. You're gonna have all your cooling elements, all your fans, all your blowers, all the misters, and then on the trailer B is gonna have all your heating elements. Gonna have your heat lamps, your blankets, your jackets, all of those heat packs, all that good stuff that you can be able to hand out to those in need should we look at an emergency that happens based off intense the microclimate. So that being said, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure. I know that we still have 1 week left, but I just want to express my gratitude to all that constant sending feedback to me and asking questions. And that's what this class is about. Although it's online, it's still just a matter of us communicating with each other and keeping each other apprised of where we each stand as we progress through each week in emergency management. So that being said, I hope that everybody stays safe and stays focused. And life is tough, but I know that we are all tougher individually and as a whole. So stay healthy, stay blessed, and please reach out to me with any questions you might have. Thank you.